Hey teacher friends, it's Friday, Dr. D, here to share with you one simple change that can shift the entire vibe of your classroom. Are you ready? Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button before we begin. And let me know what you're doing in your classroom. What do you teach? What would you like to see in our videos? And how can I best support you? Now, classroom management is such a critical piece. If your class is not well managed, you kids can't learn and you cannot teach. But there's one simple trick that you can implement that will shift the entire dynamics of your classroom for the better. It's called positive framing. Positive framing is all about setting high expectations for every single student, even the most disruptive ones, getting them dialed in and helping them to understand the behaviors you want to see rather than what you don't. It's an approach that just reframes your entire way that you talk to your students and connect with them and helps them feel like they belong and they can be successful in your class. Here's how it works. You want to encourage your students to help them feel respected and reinforce a positive classroom culture. For example, if you're giving instructions to your students, you might say something like, "Don't start until I tell you." Rather, with positive framing, you'll say something like, "Hey, I'll let you know when it's time to start. Just stay ready for my signal." Now, let's say you're correcting behavior. Instead of saying, "Hey, no talking, focus on the assignment," okay? You want to use positive framing and saying, "I can't wait to see everyone's focus on this activity. Let's get those creative ideas flowing." Again, my positive vibe is shifting from deficit to an asset-based approach. It's let everyone know high expectations, positive vibes in my classroom. So, what are some tips for implementing positive framing? First, you want to be consistent with this strategy, and that way it'll just become second nature for your practice. You want to also use some nonverbal cues, right? Pairing your words with friendly gestures such as like a smile, a thumbs up, and just reinforcing positivities. Positivity is contagious. Students aren't going to want to come in your classroom if they're feeling like, "Oh my God, this teacher is so intense and like literally hates their job," right? They want to be around someone that has this positive vibration, that is feeling good. And certainly, you can share your own personal stories. I'm always telling my students about my kids and, positive, uplifting, things that are happening in my life. I'm like the Tony Robbins of the middle school, okay? Giving them those positive words of feedback and letting them know that every time we fail, it's an opportunity for us to learn from our mistakes and grow. Again, mistakes are things happening. So just reframing some of those things so that students are feeling positive as if they can. In addition to consistency, nonverbal cues, we want to make sure that we're modeling, right? We want to make sure that we're demonstrating the behavior that you want to see. And so if I'm trying to, switch the vibe in my classroom and maybe students are being negative, I want to demonstrate positivity. I'll even do things in my classroom, because it's World Kindness Week. It's like, find a friend and say something kind to them, and I'll model some kind things to them so that they can see me, the adult, modeling kindness, right? And I love kindness. In fact, my last period class, I had one awesome student pushing in a few of the students who forgot to push in their chairs. And I gave her, a little treat just to say, "Hey, I really appreciate you helping out and being a good student, as well as helping your students out, your classmates out." So we're modeling, we're using nonverbal cues, we're being consistent, we're smiling, we're giving them thumbs up, we're sharing positive stories, we're just creating a positive classroom vibe. And this can really have a strong impact on your classroom. Again, you can have two classrooms at the same school with two different outcomes. Remember, as a teacher, you are the most positive impact in your classroom. And with that, the bell has rung. It's time for instruction to begin. So try it out. Be consistent. Remember that it takes about 20 instances of a behavior to make it part of your practice. So try it at least 20 times, 20 smiles, 20 high fives, 20 thumbs up. Be consistent, and you'll see a positive impact on your classroom. See you next time.